Evening all, wee bit of a late one tonight. I'm just on my way out to meet someone, ex-services guy who had messaged me and he didn't sound too clever. Turns out he wasn't far away, so I named a place and I said I'll get you there, they do coffee, they're open late. Grab a coffee and we'll go a wander and we'll have a chinwag, because that's the name of the game. It's a pretty wet night, it's not particularly nice, but a jacket is all you need. So that's where we're going, we're heading there. Obviously anyone can message you, the old random stranger, but I see this guy, I've got a couple of pals in common. I know somebody that kind of thinks they know him, so same area. So the guy's sound, we're going to go and meet him, see if we can help the guy. I say we, I'm myself, but it's just a term I use. We as in this organisation, which is me, myself and I. Army of one. Anyway, we're heading up to the garage, grab a coffee and go a wander. And hopefully we can get a bit of banter. I'd put a video on last night and for some reason I'd restored the factory settings or something on my account and you weren't allowed to leave comments. I don't know why that is, I'm not really clued up, but I think I've sussed it. I like the comments, I always read the comments and I always try and respond to those that justify a response, you know, the decent people among you. So I also noticed that, you know, a couple of people only like to post negative stuff. That's not what I'm all about, so I just ignore that and I delete it. I also just block them. And then they reappear again. You can see the new account's only 10 minutes old when they start posting their rubbish again. So I don't normally address negative people too many times. Again, it's a waste of energy, it's a waste of mind space. So onwards and upwards. So I'm just heading along here and I wondered if we would catch up with, we're coming to the end of January, so you know what I'm going to ask? Who's all done it? Who's all started? Who's on the right path? Who's dropped a bottle of wine a week and dropped a takeaway a week and started the ball rolling to a better standard of living overall. Maybe a couple of extra quid in the bank account. Maybe a couple of pounds off the scale, if that's your thing. It's certainly not mine. But I judge myself on how I feel, not how I look. Way past that ship sailed long ago. So who's started, guys? Don't be scared to admit that you've not done anything, or that you maybe did a day or two and then you slipped. Because in order to get anywhere, you always have to take steps backwards. 3 or 4 back, 4 or 5 forward, a little bit at a time, and it's good. You'll get there eventually. All crazy drivers are at the night in force. Wacky races. So, how's everyone feeling? I've been overloading in the vitamin C. Definitely works. The cod liver oil for my joints. That definitely works as well. Eating healthy, eating clean. So this is what I've done. You might be interested to hear this. There's absolutely no science behind anything I do. The reason being, I'm not trained in nutrition. I do it by trial and error. So see all the things I enjoy, right? Like a curry. Now, we're all conditioned to consider dinner the big meal of the day. And I'm, by my own admission, a creature of the night. I've got night owl habits. I'm a very erratic sleeper, and I can stay awake for quite a long time, sometimes days, quite often days, and I read a lot. So I've started to try and flip it on its head, and I did this little test at the start of January. So see my dinners that I have now, like I like a curry, I've started to have them for my breakfast, sometimes my lunch, but I don't have them at night time, right? I don't have them at night time, so I'm not having the big calorie intake at night time, and I'm kind of fasting. And through the night, instead of eating through the night, which was always a kind of a habit I've had all my life, because I'm a binge eater. I'm a binge eater like I was a binge drinker, and they're not healthy. They're not healthy traits. We know that. That's free information. It's all around us now. So I've started to have, like, you know, I eat a lot of boiled eggs and stuff. It's not the boiled egg diet. I don't like to call anything a diet. I just live. I'm not a fan of the word diet. I just live. So I just eat boiled eggs a lot because they're a superfood. They're one of the best things you can have. Contrary to all the myths that they create high cholesterol and all that, it's all rubbish. It's all rubbish, for sure it is. And I love them. So I eat a lot of eggs. So I've been having a kind of like, say if I'm going to have a curry or something, I have it for my lunch now. Chapatis, I'll have them for my lunch. I love Indian food, I eat a lot of it. And because I'm not having that big meal that's sitting in my stomach at 8, 9, 10 o'clock, some nights I eat my dinner at 11 o'clock at night, midnight. Now, because I'm not having that big meal now, there's nothing sitting there. So it's not getting absorbed as energy and stored as fat, or, you know, however the body wants to deal with it. And I feel so much better in the morning. When you come, I always had a habit of a big cup of tea at night time and a packet of chocolate hobnobs, stuff like that. Binge eating, you know, classic signs of a binge eater. 3 packets of biscuits. Yeah, I don't know why I do it, but I do. I think I was starved when I was a kid. Anyway, so I've flipped on its head and I'm starting to eat very differently through the day. So I'm eating bigger stuff in the morning, lunchtime, and a lot cleaner in the afternoon and towards the night. And automatically it changes your shape, it changes everything. Quite dramatically. A matter of 7 days. Just have a look at yourself in the mirror. Don't use scales because that's false economy. There's no two human beings in the world should weigh the same for their height or for anything. And basically, just look at your form. Just look at yourself and see how you feel. So I feel a lot cleaner. I feel a lot more energetic, but I feel more like, you know, when you're firing on all 4 cylinders, you're ready to go. I feel good. I would say I probably feel better now, approaching my mid-40s, than I do when I was about 36 or 37. I feel better now. I feel healthier, I feel sharper. A lot of years, over 5 years away from alcohol. Best thing I ever did, I've mentioned that before. Yeah, I drink an awful lot of coffee, that's my vice. But I would rather be drinking that than bottles of wine, or spirits, or cases of beer. That's a personal thing. I'll never take a dig at anybody that has a drink to unwind. But it's when you're doing it 7 days a week that it probably becomes a problem. Not for everyone, but for most people. But that's something else altogether. So I'm only talking about food. Try it, give it a bash. I know it's difficult with kids and stuff and family and like, but just try and flip your eating habits around a bit. Eat more in the morning and round about the midday, and tail it off at night time, and fast going into bed, get through the night, see how you get on with it. Wee bit of fasting, even a day or two a week, 1 day a week, start it with, and see how you like fasting. fasting's no for everyone, but it certainly works. And failing that, you just need to put a padlock in your fridge and flush the key down the toilet. That could become expensive. Anyway, that's where we're at. So I'm hoping that everybody's kind of started off in the right track. We're nearly into February, and I hope people are starting to feel a bit healthier. So yeah, I'm just on my way to meet this fella, see if we can get a coffee and go a wee walk, and socially distanced, of course, you know, stick to the rules and all that. Anyway, that's me nearly there, guys. So yep, I'll do a better video in the next couple of days, a lot more in depth about some stuff that I'm working on. We've got a lot of things, there's a lot of interesting guys out there just now. I want to give a shout to James Downey, the Mind Over Matter podcast. James, a Glasgow guy, he's doing great things in his community. He's just really focused on helping people, and that's it. That's all his business model is. He's focused on helping people. Fantastic, lovely guy. I did a chat with him. He's not got that big a platform yet because he's just starting, but he'll get there because he's genuine. And that's all you need for success. Be genuine and work hard and be diligent, and he's got that in abundance. So a shout out for James Downey. You'll find him on Facebook, the Mind Over Matter podcast. Look him up, he's a great guy, he's doing great things. Alright guys, enjoy your night. I'm going to go and get this coffee sorted. Ta-ta.